Hi, welcome to Passion for Life with Dee N Friends, and I'm Dee, and I have my friends here today, and it's been quite a while, and I think we've been here since the new year, but it has been a long time since we've been here. So I have a few of my friends, and right now we have Theta.
Hello.
Hi, Theta.
Like
how you
forever.
doing? Oh my gosh, it does, really.
Yeah,
oh my goodness, I'm so happy that we made it, though.
Yes.
This is such a good thing, and we have we have some wonderful people here today, our friends, and they're going to share some phenomenal people and phenomenal stuff. And it's funny because they usually are here doing what we're doing, so it's kind of amazing,
Right?
And, you know, but we're going to use their slot
our
today.
Song. That's our song.
It's your song, really?
It's amazing.
It's
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, okay. Well, hi. How you doing?
Fine. How
Welcome.
are you tonight?
Phenomenal, phenomenal. What we usually do is we talk about our passion. My passion is to make awareness and education. And Theta, we can ask her later. But we're going to share with you all, you know, what's your passion for life?
Well, let's see.
Well,
I have
first of all,
so many.
you are Max.
Well, my name is Maxima Castro,
Okay.
and I'm one of the hosts of Women of Destiny.
Right.
That, like you said, airs on this time slot from 8 to 9 o'clock.
Right.
And thank you for having us on. We are honored to be here.
Oh,
And,
we're very happy. That
My
you're here.
passion is just trying to honor God.
Okay.
You know, giving him all the glory. You know, he's changed my life, and I am so happy that he has, that he chose me, that he saw something special in me, you know, that he chose me to be part of his army.
Right.
Chose, and I feel special
Right.
because he saw something special in me. So I want to give him all the honor and the glory.
That's a blessing. Okay, cool. Excellent. And Miss Dorina?
Well, I'm Dorina Barksdale. I am also in this time slot we do Women of Destiny Television, Real Women with Real Talk. And we have similar passions. We coexist together. It's all about bringing glory to our Father and talking about real issues, dealing with, you know, from a faith-based perspective. But I have a heart for children as well as souls.
Yes.
You know, so that's my passion.
Excellent.
Are you guys related?
In the spirit.
Okay. You look similar.
You look similar.
Okay.
Oh, wow, that's funny.
Really?
It's funny.
Similar,
There's a whole running joke with that. Right? I
Yeah.
don't think it's a joke. I think it must be true or something. Something in our bloodline.
something
We're
in
not
our
really
bloodline.
sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Her mother actually resembles my grandmother.
Really?
So who knows? I
Right.
don't know.
Never do
But
know,
we are
really.
sisters in Christ. We love each other like if we were blood relatives.
Right.
God chose us to be together as
Wow.
sisters.
Yeah.
You know, so
Wow.
I'm happy.
Thank
Well-
you for the compliment.
Well, I know that we have actually been working on trying to, well, you had shared with us about the fact that you have had some kind of autoimmune disease.
Yes.
And because we are all about education and teaching people of what kind of diseases are out there and why things are happening, and what we can do, you know, to have a better integrity in life and what have you. And I know both of you will have some stories to share. So that's why I had invited you all out, you know, because I really wanted you to share with us some of your story about, you know, because I know people need to hear it.
Definitely.
And because there's so much going on right now with so many illnesses because of environmental stressors and just because people don't know what they need to put in their bodies so that they could have a healthier and a better life. So we'll start with
Maxima?
Maxima. No, I know the name. I wasn't sure whether I was going to use the lupus yet or whether we were going to do diabetes because both of them are really important, and so many people have, you know, all of this going on, you know, and it's more prevalent now, you know, each and every day. So, and we have somebody supposed to be calling in a little bit. So, and so, you know what? I think we're going to start with diabetes because the person that's calling in has lupus. So we'll start with Dorina.
Well, I have type 2 diabetes. I got diagnosed back in 2008, late 2008, and actually diagnosed myself.
Really?
Yeah, I was working at the hospital and was coming up the stairs, and I was like,
Dizzy?
Dizzy. Something's wrong. So I work in a laboratory.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What kind of laboratory?
Oh, you can't hear me? They can't hear me.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Oh, my. This is what happens with live.
Yeah, I see that. So we are on a live TV, so expect the unexpected.
She can hear you now.
You can hear me now, Annie?
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. So I was coming up the stairs. I got really lightheaded and felt a little dizzy, so immediately I asked them to draw my blood work.
Okay.
Wow.
They drew my blood work. They ran the numbers or whatever. My regular numbers were fine, but I asked them to do an A1C. You know, and being a child of Most High God, God talks to you. So
You have to listen now.
And you have to listen, right? So I got the results, and she said, "Oh, your A17 is a little high." So I was like, "Okay." So I made an appointment with my doctor. Went to go see the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Well, Dorina, you have diabetes."
Wow.
So it kind of took me back a little bit because it was unexpected. It did run in my family, whatnot, but. I was in denial for a little while.
So you say it did run in your family, per se?
Yeah.
And, we're going to talk about that, too, because everybody's saying, oh, it runs in the family. But we kind of have, like, a kind of a different way of thinking about running in the family. Because I think, is it genetics, or is it because we're eating the same thing?
Everybody's eating the same thing.
Right.
So that's really,
Probably,
why we end up getting the same type of diseases, running in the family, because I know my family runs cancer. So it's like, oh my. But so we have to just stop doing certain things to our body and stop eating certain foods and what have you. What kind of laboratory do you work in?
I work in a medical laboratory.
Are you a technologist?
No, I'm not a technologist. I'm the program support assistant.
No, because I'm a medical. I work as a laboratory. I'm a laboratory professional also.
Are you a technologist?
I'm a technologist.
Microbiologist?
Microbiology.
Okay.
Yes, but I work in all the laboratories. So I was like, oh, okay. So but you have found, you learned some things in the lab.
Right. Well, I've been working in the medical field for 25 years.
Oh, okay, okay.
So,
yeah.
I have a little history background, but
Right.
I'm just happy to have a job.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. But so in terms, so the doctor, did they have to put you on insulin at that point?
No, I've never been placed on insulin.
Okay.
They started me off with a low dosage of metformin.
Okay.
But when your body's not used to taking in certain type of medicines, you get sick. So I had a reaction for the metformin.
Really?
And,
What type of reaction?
Huh?
What type of reaction?
I felt like I was having a little bit of an out-of-body experience. I was getting sick, and I couldn't seem to hold down food. So I just was really uncomfortable with it. Plus, I was still struggling with the fact that, oh, you have diabetes. I was like, I don't have no diabetes. And you know how we are. We get to a place that's like, I'm not receiving that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do what I have to do to try to make things better. At the time of the diagnosis, I was 7. When they did the A1C, it was 7.5.
Really? That's kind of high, yeah.
So they were saying that was a little high.
Yeah.
And that I needed to get it down under 6. So it was just saying, well, you can still eat everything that you want to do, but you have to do it in moderation.
Wait a minute. That's a question. Now, the thing is, rather than telling you why can't, now you're going to have to really change your diet.
Right.
Please maybe check out your processed foods, check out this, that, and the other. They just said, eat everything.
Well, the doctor that was in that office at that time, he said
crazy.
Because it wasn't high, they have people that's in there 10, 11, 12 with an A1 count. So he says, you have to eat everything in moderation. There are some things, that you need to cut out of your diet, but you just have to be careful what you eat. So I was doing okay in the beginning, and then my dad died in 2010.
Of diabetes? Of what?
My dad had, he had renal failure.
Okay.
His kidneys went due to high blood pressure.
Did he have diabetes at one
point?
point?
Onset diabetes after they started taking the medication. So it was a couple of things that were going on for him, but it really, he died of a heart attack, from complications from renal failure.
How old was he?
He was 61.
Okay. Oh, he was young.
He was young, but we had him longer than we were supposed to.
Yeah.
So when he originally got diagnosed, he got diagnosed back in when he was 40.
Oh, okay.
And we spared him and gave him to us for extradition 15 to 20 years.
Oh, yeah, that's a blessing.
So that's a blessing. He was able to see his kids grow up, his grandkids.
Oh, that was very good.
We were very happy for that.
Yeah.
So with the diabetes, that's when I was ignoring and I was taking care of my mom. I wasn't really taking care of myself the way I was supposed to. It got a little higher, it got out of control. They had to change up my medicine again. Then they started putting you in a medicine that makes you go to the bathroom. Then all of a sudden they were giving you medicine. We really don't know what the reaction is. Some people take it, you might get sick from it. They put me on the Victoza.
Yeah.
So it was a couple of things until finally they were able to find something that would help me stabilize my numbers and bring it down. But I had gotten really sick, and then sometimes you have more than one thing going on with the added stress, and then I have fibroids and stuff like that. So everything is a contributing factor. But a lot of it has to do with education, doing the wise thing, and having people around you that's going to yell at you to tell you make sure you stay on proper, that you stay in order. So I'm doing much better than what I was. We're still working on trying to get the numbers down.
Are you still on the medication at this point?
I'm on a different type of medication now.
Okay.
Medication I'm taking right now is Genumet, which is a little bit of the metformin as well as this other medicine that they have to go along with it.
Okay.
So it's like 50-50, and then they have me on another pill which is called Farxiga, Farxiga, which helps. What it does, it interferes with the sugar that's going in through your kidneys, and you end up urinating a lot of it out prior before it processes through the system. We do try to exercise,
trying,
to help lose weight, and just being responsible and being accountable to people around you. I did have to go to an endocrinologist because my general doctor just really we couldn't really seem to get a handle on things. But a lot of it has to do too with is that you as the individual must take responsibility to make sure that you take care of yourself properly. You surround yourself with people who are going to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. And just know that diabetes is curable. It has to do with what you're eating. And that you have to change the way you're eating. And I think that's the hardest part for a diabetic is that things that they say you can't have, you crave it. Sugars, carbs.
That's because it's in your body.
Right.
And once it's in your body's going to crave it until you flush it out.
Right, exactly.
You have to detox your body.
Exactly.
And that's what we have been doing, actually. I'm so happy that Theater introduced me to this detox program that we've been on since the beginning of January. And it's made such a difference because we have not had sugar in 40, 50 days?
Oh, that's awesome.
I feel so much better. I feel, and when I don't look in the mirror and say, I feel like an ugly duckling. Serious. I'm serious, straight up. I just feel good about myself, better about myself, and I lost I didn't say I lost a person, but I'm able to put my hands in my pants and go like this, whereas I walk before because it's too tight. Whatever, but I feel comfortable.
Now she has to buy new clothes.
And
she's only lost 10 pounds, but the fact that it's just changed her composition, and it's just changed the fact that you're not eating those bad things anymore. And myself included. Now, I was not a real fruit eater, and I had hypertension. I was on 3 blood pressure medicines. They wanted me to put on cholesterol medicine at one point. I had Nexium issues and what have you. I had some challenges, but I'm not going to go into that. But I did lose about 32 pounds so far. I still have some to lose, but things have happened.
But what type of detox are you on?
We're going to talk about that when we come back, okay? So we'll be right back, okay?
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic. working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multi-discipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee N Friends, and I'm Dee, and I have my friends here, and I think we have a phone call, so I'm going to pick up the call, and then we'll get back to what we were talking about in terms of our detox, okay? Hi, welcome to Passion for Life with Dee N Friends. Who do I have on the call?
My name is Raheem Zaran.
Hi, Raheem. How you doing? Thanks for calling in.
Okay.
What is your passion, or what are we going to talk about? Well, I know we were talking about diabetes, but I know we were also going to be talking about lupus. Did you call about one of those?
Yes, about lupus.
Ah, okay, cool. Great. Excellent. What do you have to say about lupus?
Lupus? I'm a lupus patient.
Oh, you are? Okay, excellent.
Lupus is an autoimmune disease that largely goes unnoticed. It's a large amount of women that experience it, but it's a very small percentage of men that go through it.
Yeah, that's surprising because I never really heard too many men had lupus, you know? Yeah. How long ago were you diagnosed with lupus?
I was diagnosed with lupus in February of 1996.
Wow.
It's a long time.
Yeah. God bless you.
And what kind of lupus do you have?
I have systemic lupus.
Really? So has it affected a lot of your organs, and have you?
It affected my lungs. It's affected my kidneys. I've just been dealing day to day. You know, I'm glad I'm still able to be around. I've been very open with other people that I've met with this.
Have you met a lot of men with lupus, or?
No, I'm the only guy. I've met mainly women. And most of them, when they see me, they say, "You look 100% healthy. You look strong and everything else."
Wow.
But they can't see the inside of my body, the damage that it's done, the toll that it's taken on my body. They just look at the physical attributes and they say, "You look 100% healthy."
Well, what kind of stressors, first of all, do you have any lupus history in your family?
No, there's no lupus history in my family.
Wow. Anybody else have any kind of autoimmune diseases in your family?
None.
None. Really? No kind of, what's that, arthritis or?
Yes, I've dealt with the arthritis.
You have it now.
Arthritis.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, yeah.
I've dealt with arthritis for years. It isn't as bad as it used to be. Years ago, it was worse.
Really?
How bad?
I mean, I could barely walk. Running was totally out of the question. I would sit around, get behind a fire if we were sitting outside, and just let the fire, just the heat, ease my pain.
Mm. So, what kind of, have you changed your diet to relieve, put your lupus into remission?
Slightly. I have tried to eat more vegetables, more salads, but, hey, every now and then you have to have that little bit of red meat, but I try to keep away from that, for the most part.
Well, red meat, depending on if how it's grown. Yeah, like if they are grass-fed and organic feed and what have you, it's okay. But
I don't trust the labels when I see them.
You have to be really aware so that they don't have the pesticides and what have you, because antibiotics, because the antibiotics are deadly to our body.
Well, yeah, steroids. You're so right.
Steroids, all the hormones and what have you. And see, what happens is a lot of the autoimmune diseases are really becoming prevalent because of all these different chemicals. Our body is actually doing what it's supposed to do, is actually trying to expel all these negative stressors that we're putting into our body that it doesn't recognize. We have to make sure we put foods in our body, things on our body that our body recognizes so that we can utilize and use it freely. Because anything you put on your body that is not supposed to be, it's going to create an immune response. And that's where we get our diseases from.
Raheem, can I ask a question?
Yes.
How did you find out that you had lupus, and how did you become diagnosed, and in your journey?
Well, me, going back that far, I was leaving work one day, and one of my supervisors had approached me and said, "What's wrong with you?" Because he looked at me and saw that something was wrong. I looked at him and I said, "I really just don't feel well." He said, "Look, go to the doctor. Do not come to work tonight. Go to the doctor." And I informed him that, hey, if I take any more days off, I would get a letter. He said, "To hell with the letter. If you come in tonight, I'm going to write you up. Go to the doctor."
Wow. Well, that's a good boss. Because I don't know how many bosses would actually do that for,
So truthfully, at the time, I was employed by the Nassau County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, okay, okay. And you have to be healthy to do that.
Lieutenant Levering.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And he had said, don't come in, because I didn't look right. I felt I was a little off. He looked in my face and saw, something's wrong.
Were they able to diagnose it right away, or did it take some time?
What happened was I had gone to a Dr. Peck in Baldwin, one of these little emergency care places.
Right.
And I had gone to him prior, and he had looked at me and he had gave me medication before, and it didn't do anything. It just made me a little flighty. But this time he said, "Wait a minute, you're not a frail guy. Let's do a chest x-ray." He did a chest x-ray on me. One of my lungs was just about filled with fluid.
Wow.
And then he said he contacted another doctor. I thought that doctor had space. When the doctor was informed of my blood levels and everything, he canceled all of his appointments the next day and brought me in.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I forgot the name of that doctor. He brought me in. He was located in Hewlett, I think. He brought me into his office and ran tests on me all day.
Wow, that's
running the tests on me. I failed every test. And he said, "Well, hey, come on, let's talk about this. Let's try to find out what's going on." And I said, "Doc, tell me what's going on."
How long did it take for them to diagnose you?
After that, I ended up going to South Nassau Hospital, and a doctor who had left paperwork at the hospital by accident had come back to the hospital and saw about 4 or 5 doctors working on my case and said, hey, what's going on? And they said, oh, this guy, he has to be HIV positive, but it keeps coming up negative.
Wow.
And when he looked at the levels, he said, did anyone test him for lupus? At that point, one of the doctors said, no, only women get lupus.
And that's you know,
no.
wow,
And
that's crazy.
Undiagnosed and die.
Undiagnosed and die.
He came to me. His name was Dr. Gregory Dillametin.
Wow.
Offshore dialysis in Belmore.
Wow. You know what? People just don't know. And it's so sad because doctors are not infallible. You know, they have to be educated. People have to be educated. And that's why it's so important. That's why we're here.
Right.
Because, you know, the ignorance of the fact that the doctors say, oh, well, it's only a women's, you know, disease. You know, okay, yes, we do know that mostly women do get it, but
when I was diagnosed,
that's crazy.
When I was diagnosed in '96, the chance of a man getting lupus was 1/10 of 1%.
Wow.
Wow.
It's probably the same now.
Or being diagnosed
I would say by 2006, it was up to 5%.
Wow.
I don't know what it's up to now.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you.
Mostly men go undiagnosed.
Yeah, probably so. You know, and how have you had to go on dialysis or anything like that, or are you?
Luckily, no.
Okay.
I am close a lot of times, but I never had to go on kidney dialysis.
That's a blessing.
They did put me on immunogammaglobulin on 4 or 5 occasions. In which, to receive that drug, you have to be admitted to a hospital. But they have certain centers that are able to give you the drug where you don't have to check in and check out of a hospital.
Are you still on drugs at this point?
Just basic drugs. I am taking mycopial phenolate. That would be the generic form of Cellcept. I am also taking a blood pressure pill, Cozar, just to keep my blood pressure in check, because the mycopial phenolate elevates my blood pressure.
Side effects, yeah.
And I've stuck to the St. Joseph's Children's aspirin, and then I add a few other. Then there's another vitamin. It's called Nephrovite. It's specially designed for lupus patients.
Really?
Have you ever
added a few other, you know, healthy pills to it, B12, fish oil capsules, and everything else.
Because that's the thing we were just discussing about how our diets are very important. What we put into our mouths, you know, that, and there's so many medicinal plants that have medicinal properties that really can help, you know, put a lot of things in check. And actually, we have a young lady here that has had a journey with lupus and at this point has been in total remission and does not claim it any longer.
That's right.
So, you know, it's not without at this point, right, Maxima?
Well,
and we're going to let her tell your story. Are you able to hear us, watch us at this point?
Yes, I am able to hear you.
Okay, so I'm going to have Maxima share her story.
Sure, thank you. Well, I was diagnosed in 2003 after hysterectomy.
Okay.
And I just couldn't get better. They told me that I would be able to return to work after 3 weeks.
Right.
And I just wasn't. After 3 weeks, I just couldn't get better.
Right.
I was listless. Couldn't walk around. Couldn't do anything. And then my doctor said, well, we'll give you a month. It didn't happen after a month. You know, and I didn't understand what was going on. They didn't know what was going on.
How long ago was that?
2003.
2003? Okay.
And all this happened right after the surgery?
After the surgery. Okay. I feel that it triggered, you know, the autoimmune disease, but they've said, up to this day, they said that there's no connection.
Of course, because they gave you some kind of drug, probably.
I think there is a connection because before then, I didn't have any issue.
Right.
couldn't walk, couldn't get around. And I started noticing that I would go grocery shopping, and I like to go to different grocery stores. If there was a special here and there, I would go to different ones.
Right.
And I live close to Pathmark in my area. I would go to Pathmark, and I would be just completely winded.
Yeah.
I couldn't go anywhere else.
Wow.
If I went to work, that was it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I couldn't do anything more.
Wow.
But after the surgery, I couldn't walk very much. I just couldn't get out of bed.
Right.
I remember my husband would leave my foods like next to my bed because I really couldn't get up.
Wow.
And I started praying and asking God, I'm like, God, if it's my time, I'm ready to go, you know. But I still had a young daughter that I wanted to finish raising.
Right.
But I was content if it was my time to go. It was like, you know, I'm ready. Just show me. Give me clarity and wisdom.
Right.
And then he said, you know, you have the tools right in your hands. I used to buy a lot of alternative medicine books.
Right.
And I would put them aside, of course, until I had time to read them.
Right.
And we had this TV station that we used to look at. It was a cable station, Sky Angel. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No.
And it was all it was Christian. That we only had Christian station. I didn't have the regular cable TV.
Okay.
And on those stations, there was a lot of doctors that would speak about alternative medicine.
Right.
I remember listening to one, Doug Hoffman.
Okay.
And he would talk about, you know, alternative medicine, the foods that we should eat.
Right.
You know, and I had the books, you know, different books.
Definitely.
You know, that I never looked at until that day. God said, you have the tools right in your hands. And I started reading those books.
Right.
And he said, start walking in your living room 5 minutes. I couldn't really get out of bed.
Really? Yeah.
And I started walking 5 minutes in my living room.
Yeah.
Then I would go back to bed.
Okay.
And I would read the book.
Right.
So I started purchasing organic foods. Nothing with pesticides.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Nothing in cans. Nothing with cans
Yeah.
at
Nothing,
all.
nothing processed. I know.
Nothing processed.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the can oxidizes and
Yeah,
goes into your
exactly,
cells.
exactly.
So I stopped using canned food. All organic, live food.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing processed.
Real foods.
Real foods.
We're going to have to take a quick break, and then we're going to get back to that, okay? Because that's so important, very much. So we'll be right back, okay? Thank you.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! It's like you guys, I don't. Power.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Old Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power. Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power.
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee N Friends, and we have been having off conversations because we're just like so excited about learning more and more about what's going on with all these diseases because it's so important. So I'm going to get back to Maxima to just finish her story because I know we still got to go back to diabetes, you know, and time just goes so fast. So
what I was saying is that the food that we eat is so important because, like you were saying, don't realize the amount of chemicals, preservatives, and you know the unknown that's in our food. And I think that's what causes all of the inflammation because lupus is an inflammation in our body.
Definitely.
And it's, you know, and like you were asking me what type I had. I had systemic
you
as
did
well,
have systemic.
where the organs start the body starts attacking itself.
It doesn't recognize.
It doesn't recognize.
It doesn't recognize
So
your own body.
There's two separate types of lupus?
What kind?
Erythematosus, which is more skin. If you notice, like a lot of people's skin, the hair falls out, what have you. You know,
my cousin had.
I had the rash on my face for a long time.
Exactly.
Also, but once I started changing my way of eating and exercising, because I do have the arthritis from the lupus. I have that. But it's important to keep exercising, to keep moving on a daily basis. And like I was saying, the food is the most important thing.
It's so scary.
And I prayed a lot. That's really the most important. I prayed daily, asking God to heal me.
But then he also he gave you that knowledge to say, okay, we need to get natural. You need to get that right stuff in your body. Because if you don't have that proper fuel in your body, you just putting yourself at a detriment, you know. So you really have to get rid of all even the frozen foods and what have. Because you know, back in the day when our families, our grandparents and what have you, they did natural, and they lived such a better life, and the diseases weren't there. And then all of a sudden, you had the fast foods, you know, you had the White Castles and all these different processed foods, and they didn't know.
And that's what's causing so much damage.
Exactly, exactly. Actually, I was reading an article that Dr. McCullough, he's very, very, you know, he's very advocate about getting that knowledge out. And he was talking about the flour, and how originally that there was this gentleman that was a doctor, and that was right before the FDA, and he was actually advocate against the chemicals. He was trying, you know, because all of a sudden they started bleaching the flour and what have you, and adding these chemicals, and he actually kept it out of the process for a long time. But then he was like hitting so many roadblocks from everybody else because they wanted the chemicals because it was the faster way to go. You know, because if you do it the old-fashioned way, it takes months and months and months, so it takes longer to get the product out to you. So adding the chemicals, you know, and it causes these different byproducts, which causes disease.
And now it's just to get as much supply out as possible.
And the fastest way.
And the fastest way. Even the way the animals are slaughtered affects us. I was speaking about Food Incorporated. It shows you how our animals are being raised today. You know, they're in corrals. Animals, but cows, pigs, they weren't made to be corralled. And the way they're slaughtered, a lot of the times they're slaughtered in their own feces. And a lot of that goes right into the foods that we're eating. And that's why so many people are getting sick, you know, from food-based illnesses. Because, you know, cows are supposed to graze.
Graze on grass.
On grass, not on feed. Yeah, really.
Not on, you know, the chemicals that are in their feed today.
Yeah, exactly.
Pigs also. You know, I remember having pigs I'm from the Dominican Republic, and we used to raise pigs. They were fed like we eat plantains. They were fed the plantain peels, you know, the peels from the fruits and vegetables.
Right.
And everything was clean. They had no chemicals. You know, we are made to eat natural, live foods, not over-processed foods, not foods that have been sitting on shelves for years.
Well, actually, your body cannot recognize chemicals. So it tries to expel it or store it, and it causes other problems.
Definitely.
It's scary, you know, and a lot of people don't even realize, and we haven't even talked about the GMOs, okay, and the genetic modified organisms that are putting into these foods and making them into these master big things that you never heard of, or, you know, it's like these things that they're supposed to be these little tiny little fruits and vegetables, and they're huge, and, you know, and they're saying, oh, that's okay. No, it's not, you know. Your body is not recognizing that. It's not something that your body will absorb and expel properly. Now your body's going to say, oh, what are you giving to me? Hell no, let me get rid of it. And it goes after it, and it creates this immune response, and it keeps on going.
Do you
it's
think
scary.
that there's a system that's just set up where we're going doing this vicious cycle where, you know, medicine is big time money, you know that.
Yeah.
And so
No cures.
instead of, they're just pushing pills, they're just pushing,
well, there's
money
money in that.
Yeah.
There's money.
Yeah.
And they're not looking for cures. They're looking for you to manage it. Manage your disease so you continuously, you know, go to them, you know, get that prescription on a monthly basis is geared to keep us ill. You know, not well.
It's actually, you know, and this is only in the Western society, because they will not allow a lot of these foods in the European society. You know, this is not, you know, the chemicals and all that. I don't understand why we allow it. And now they're going on a, they really want to go and try to put it on so that we know what we're buying. You know, people need to know what is being brought, so they need to put it on labels. They put everything else on labels. Why can't they put, but they don't put certain chemicals in on the labels. So it's like, okay, you know, if it's GMO, you should know that it's a GMO product. You know, because I don't want to buy a GMO product.
Well, a lot of people don't even know what GMOs is.
This is true. This is true. This is true. But they have to realize that there's so many things. Yeah, there's the chemicals. Our children are being so affected by all the hormones.
Children look older than us.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And all the sugars in the food.
That's,
you know, and things that there shouldn't be sugars, you know.
Well, the sugar is actually so addictive.
Yes, it is.
Okay, it's so addictive, you know, and it's just a horrible, horrible thing. And we can talk about that in a minute too, because that's part of the reason for the diabetes, you know, because I know in terms of diabetes, the sugar is so bad. And of course, we have to go take another commercial break. So we'll be right back.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, DMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with your one and only Madhouse TV. You are the man.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee N Friends, and I'm Dee, and we just have been flying through this subject, and it's kind of like something that we probably will have to talk about again, and have you all out of here again, you know, on our regular time shop slot, because we're going to be coming back on Friday nights again. Amen. And thank you, I really do appreciate it. We have a few more minutes, so we're going to just talk a little bit more to maximize, and then we have Brahim still on, and he has a little zip thing, and then we're going to go back to you,
yes, okay.
Dorina, and hey.
I just wanted to address Brahim to let him know that my lupus was milder than his.
Yeah.
I never experienced the things that he's experienced.
Right.
So I really can't speak on what he's gone through, but I can honestly say that I feel that I've been healed of the problems that I was experiencing.
Right.
You know, I was in a lot of pain for a while.
Yeah.
You know, I take glucosamine and chondroitin for the pain, you know, so I don't feel any pain on a daily basis. I take vitamin D, vitamin E, fish oil. I take, you know, so I take a lot of supplements. I took the noni juice, aloe vera juice, the pomegranate juice on a daily basis. Exercise. I had to keep moving because with arthritis, if you don't keep moving, it gets worse.
Are you still doing that now?
I do stretch in the morning. I was in a gym. I stopped. We have to go back to the gym. It's important for us to go back, both she and I. But I have to stretch in the morning, you know, do those type of exercises before because when I get up, I feel like, you know, everything is tight and hurting. But once I start stretching, I take my shower, take all of my supplements and vitamins.
You got to get back on the noni.
On the noni, yes. I have to get back on it because it
So what is
actually
the
helped.
noni? What is the noni?
It's actually Morinda citrifolia, which is a natural supplement. It's a fruit that is a medicinal plant that ours is grown in Tahitian noni. And it has been found that it helps with all kinds of diseases and what have you. And it's actually an adaptogen. So it works with your body, your body's issues. So you definitely need to be on it also, without a doubt. It's helped me with my blood pressure. It's helped me with so many different things. I had a hysterectomy a couple of years ago, pain management, all the itises, you name it, it's phenomenal.
It's helped me with my arthritis, right?
Yeah,
it so much pain all the time.
Yes.
I couldn't walk.
Yes.
And it has helped me with
all the autoimmune diseases, all the itises, or everything, even cancer, Alzheimer's, you name it, it helps. Because what happens is it works on a cellular basis. And it blocks the sugar because the sugar is really deadly, and there's a lot of everything basically sugar, food related, definitely. So you really have to be so much aware. We have stuff that actually blocks sugar. Okay, does not allow the sugar to bind to the protein.
What about the substitute sugars that they?
Oh, hardly. Oh, deadly, deadly. Okay.
I use stevia, but that's
the stevia is a natural form, but the aspartame and all that kind of stuff. If you're going to have sugar, you might as well just have regular sugar.
Yes.
Okay. Why are you going to put that chemical in your body that they really try to keep out of production? But of course, certain people had their way and they allowed it in. Okay, so it's just so not good, you know, not at all.
Now, how long has that company Noni been in place?
Noni, our company has been almost 20 years now, but the fruit has been around for over 2,000 years. Okay, because the islands, all the islands have it. Okay, because it grows in tropical islands. Our particular one from Tahiti, because of the fact that it's from the lava soil, it has that much more potency because it has that much adversity to grow. So the more adversity to grow, the more potent it has to give you. You know,
so if somebody was interested in getting that particular product, would they just call you?
Yes. And 917-579-5221.
That's right.
And we have a website, trueage.com, and it's 319-7295. But you can always call me, and that's 917-579-5211. But I don't usually advertise that much. But that's my we also doing, because we're doing our toxic cleanse, we're also doing acupressure.
Oh.
Yes. So which it helps us our hypothalamus and our metabolism.
So you like the acupressure? Oh my God, I'm going to my hosting. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Is that
no, it's
the
okay.
same as acupuncture?
It's not puncture. It's pressure.
Pressure.
Oh.
It's pressure balls. So we have pressure that it activates our metabolism and it helps our body to
release toxins.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I want to
I
do that.
I have one on my ear. Have one up here.
I do too.
In the back of
So I have to spin them. She doesn't. She's on maintenance, so she doesn't have to spin anymore. Yeah. So Raheem, before we end this, do you have something to share with us?
Yes, I would like to say lupus is the most devastating, debilitating disease that people know nothing about. It's a shame, but when people hear lupus, they don't have a clue what it is, and they choose not to know.
Well, you know, I think it's just the fact that people don't. If it's not related to them at this point, it's not affecting them. But now it's affecting more and more people people are learning about it, because I know for a fact that I have talked to people and they're like, oh, I know somebody that has lupus. So, and it's so hard to diagnose. There's so many diseases that, unfortunately, that are coming out now that they weren't there before. And it's all because our bodies are being exposed to so many bad stressors. Yeah, exactly. So environmental stressors, all kinds of things that our body we just can't do. This immune response, our body is doing what it's supposed to do, and it can't keep on putting bad stuff in and working against it. It's just you're working against your own self.
You're just tired.
You know, yeah, I can't take it no more. What do you say? The war?
It's lost the war.
Lost the war. You know, so it's just hard. So we have to learn what to do. And, you know, even though the government is not allowing us to really, you know, they're like, hey, have everything. You know, enjoy life. No. We have to make the education and do the right thing, because, you know, they're not going to help us.
You have to take an active part in your health care.
Exactly. So I really appreciate you calling us, and, you know, and sharing your
It
story.
was a pleasure to be on your show.
Oh, really? It was very good. You know, I really appreciate you stepping in, you know, and informing us of what you have been going through. And we'll have to have you on another time also, in person.
Definitely, surely.
Okay.
It'll be my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brahim.
No problem, Peter. Call me sometime.
I will.
Yeah, right. I'll believe it when I get it.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you later.
Ladies, have a pleasant evening.
You too.
Thank you.
So, Dorina, in terms of with what you were doing, so at this point, we have to work you off of all those things. Okay, so you have
Maxima.
Yeah, you have Maxima. She can teach you, because that's how she was able to get rid of what she's gone through. And it's the same thing, because it is the same type of things that are causing your diabetes. You know, exactly the same thing. So processed foods have to go out of your body. All those chemicals, because you don't know. So you have to go with the organic. You know, even like they say GMOs or non-GMO products, they're not, you have to go with the organics, because the organics are non-GMOs also, but then the non-GMOs might have pesticides. They might have all kinds of other things.
And nitrates also.
So you kind of just have to really
read.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, they say it's expensive, but it's not really. It's really not expensive.
You have to know how to shop.
Yeah.
I think it's more expensive to be ill.
Exactly.
Because you're constantly going to the doctor.
Yes.
I remember going to 9 doctors because they didn't know what to do with me. I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker, you know. But once I changed my way of eating, I dropped my doctors.
Yeah.
All of them. I only have my internal doctor now.
Yeah.
And he listens to me
And
versus
that's
me
important.
having to listen to him. He listens to the things that I don't like to do.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like a lot of medication.
Right. Exactly.
He listens to me.
Exactly. And that's what you need, a doctor that's going to listen to you.
Yes.
Because I know the doctor that I had, I was on blood pressure medicine. I was trying to fight it, okay? And so, but I kept on gaining weight. And I couldn't lose the weight. So ultimately, my pressure just kept on going higher. And your father passed away from kidney disease. My father did too. So I do know what you went through. He had hypertension. He ended up with kidney disease, and then he ended up with cancer. So, and the foods and what have you, I know it affected him, you know. It affected him so, so badly. And it was just so sad to see him go from such a viable man to such a... He was just gone, you know, his body was gone. He couldn't fight it. And his mom, on the other hand, lived to 101, you know, and was strong. And then she got exposed to things, you know, because of, people, and that's another story. But you have to be really so conscious of what you're putting in. She cooked everything from scratch, you know, and that's why she lived such a good life. If there was an issue, the doctor said, oh, you got a little sugar going on or what have you, she just do it with diet. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to get on medication, because the medications are synthetic. Your body is going to react, and it's going to react negatively, unfortunately, you know, eventually. So you want to clear the playing field, you know, and put supplements in your body. Might not taste that good right away, but eventually it will, because your body will need it and it wants it, you know. So you really have to just do the right thing to your body, put the right stuff in.
We have an organic garden in Brentwood.
Really? That's great.
You grow it yourself, or
we grow it ourselves, all organic.
The community get
the
together
community
and do it?
does, yes.
That's phenomenal.
Okay. Volunteers. We don't have as much volunteers as we need, but we do have some committed people that have been with us over the years. Torina, she started with us. She's part of, it's called Brentwood Community Garden. She started with us, and came.
So you're going to get out there and get those fruits and vegetables out of there.
Yes, actually this year I've been doing more.
Okay, good. But I really appreciate, again, first of all, sharing your time slot with me.
Of course.
Okay. And it really worked out for us. It really did. and coming out and sharing your stories. And I wish we had more time.
Need a 2-hour show.
Yes, we do. So we can do a part 2 next time. So you have to definitely come back. Okay. Hopefully next month we can do it. You know, I'm only probably going to do about 3 shows next month. But definitely if you want to come out and share with us again, it would be, you know, we'll do part 2 and share some more and get some more people to call in. And,
definitely.
So, thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dee. You're welcome.
And we're almost done now.
I know.
Yeah. We'll be back at our regular time next week on Friday night at 8:30. And join us, Passion for Life with Dee N Friends. Have a great night.